Well, you're just thinking that maybe if I could just wake up a couple of minutes earlier, then I could crush all my to-do list. I could handle everything that is on my plate. And so I need to do something for that. If this is a challenge for you to wake up some minutes earlier or wake up earlier, then this podcast episode is for you. So let's go down into the nitty-gritty of waking up early and all of the possible scenarios around that. Then, what do you say? Let's begin.
Be the best version of yourself, Mama. I'm Mahsa Rezaei, and welcome to MamaNest, a nest for mother moms who are eager to achieve a simpler, more intentional life. In this podcast, we're going to rewrite the script and reinvent the culture of motherhood together. Remember, becoming a mother is the beginning of our prosperity, not forgetting ourselves. A fulfilled, healthy, confident, and productive mom is all we need to be to guarantee our family's future. I'm on a mission to make you feel empowered and less overwhelmed. We'll focus on productivity, parenting, mindfulness, minimalism, sustainable lifestyle, financial awareness, besides family wellness. I'm here to help you broaden your horizon and gain clarity on showing up as your best mama self. So, let's build you up today. Let's dive into it.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of MamaNest Podcast. This is actually episode number 32, and we're going to talk about waking up early in the mornings, the challenge that I know a lot of us are facing day in and day out in our lives. And in every season of our life, maybe we're facing another level of it. So it doesn't really differ whether you are an early bird or a night owl. It is always at the back of our mind that if we could just wake up a couple of minutes earlier, maybe we would be more successful in managing everything that is in our plate. Maybe we're successful in just handling everything and just crushing our to-do list. So this was one of the most frequent questions that I've ever been asked in MamaNest community, that how on earth is it possible to be an early bird? So in the first place, I want to make sure that you just know that not all of the people are early birds, and we have two categories of the people: night owls and early birds. Night owls are the ones who are energetic and productive in the early mornings, and night owls on the contrary are the people who are more productive and who are more energetic at the late nights. At maybe midnights even. So it is really important to just make sure that you know exactly what type of person you are. And so I call this step number 0, because it is the foundational concept that we need. We need to just make sure that all of us assume this. So I call it misconception. Step 0 is letting go of the misconception. And what is the misconception? Misconception of our topic today is that some of the times we think that early birds are the most successful people in the world. So we need to be an early bird in order to be successful. But, that is not true. All of us know that there are a lot of people who are more productive in the late midnights even. So what is really important is to know that what type of person you are, whether you're an early bird or a night owl, just embrace the type of person that you are. It doesn't matter if, for example, you're a night owl, so you don't need to just force yourself to wake up as early as an early bird, because an early bird is more productive at that time, is more energetic at that time. So she or he is really convinced to wake up at that time, but you as a night owl may not be that much convinced. So you don't need to just regret whether some of the times that you don't wake up early. So please in the first place, let go of this misconception that you need to wake up as early as an early bird if you're a night owl. And so with just having this, assumption in our mind, we're going to go through the topic of waking up early. So step 0 was letting go of the misconception of waking up early when you're not an early bird. So the fact that you need to be an early bird in order to be successful, because that is not true. We have a lot of people that are early birds, but they cannot even manage their lives. So this is truly a misconception. So the next step, which is our first step, by the way, is having a clear definition of waking up early. So for some of the people, waking up early means waking up at 4 a.m. For some of the other people, it may have another definition of, for example, waking up at 10 a.m. So you need to clarify for yourself, what is your definition of waking up early? Don't ever rely on other people's definitions of waking up early. I really, truly love the book of 5 a.m. clubs, but that is not true, that you need to just wake up at 5 a.m. in order to be successful. So, it really, I think, depends on your situation, on the season of your life that you're in, and the circumstances that are in your life. For example, whenever you have a newborn, so you shouldn't really expect yourself to wake up at 4 a.m. when you didn't have enough sleep the last night. I know, and I can totally understand that in the first few months after becoming a mom, becoming a new mom, having a newborn, everything is really out of the schedule. So your plan is really dependent on your child's plan. Whenever she goes sick, so you are experiencing everything out of the plan and out of the schedule. So you need to be more aware of the season of life that you're in, and based on that, have a clear definition of waking up or waking up early for yourself. So for example, for me as an early bird, in some of the seasons of my life, waking up at 4 a.m. was assumed to be waking up early. But in the season of life that, for example, I was new to the world of mothering, so at that time, I just can totally remember that. I can vividly remember that waking up at 10 a.m. was assumed to be waking up early for me. So it really depends on the season of life and also the circumstances that you have. For example, you might not even get enough sleep the last night, but you need to be present somewhere in the early morning, for example, going to work or having a meeting or anything. So you need to get up to wake up just at 7 a.m. in order to be present at that meeting or appointment or anything, or going to work. So please write down for yourself, what is your definition of waking up early? And in order to just help you be more realistic about this, you need to think of the roles, the responsibilities that you have, and the appointments that you have, the meetings that you have, the places that you need to be present at, everything. So please just take your time, and maybe you need to just pause this podcast episode and go and think about it. In this season of your life that you're in, what is the meaning of waking up early, and why do you expect yourself to wake up early? What are the things that are in your plate so that you think you should wake up early in order to handle them? You might think that, as a mom to a newborn, so maybe if I could wake up just 30 minutes earlier than my child, I could go over planning my stuff, prioritizing, or just doing some household chores or anything. So I could go to my day in a very, stress-free situation. So that is your definition now. And so that is more reliable than the definition that, for example, anyone can suggest you to wake up at 4 a.m., wake up at 5 a.m. in order to be successful. Those are just suggestions, but not the realities of your life. So please have a clear definition of waking up early for this season of your life that you're in. So in the next step, which is step number 2, I want to assess your life. I want you to assess your life. And what do I mean by that? So what is it that you just come and just listen to this podcast episode? So you think that maybe you need to wake up earlier. Why do you think so? Because maybe you feel hectic, maybe you feel so stressful every day that you wake up. And you think that maybe if you could wake up earlier, a little bit earlier, you could go to your day. You could manage everything better. So what are the reasons that you think you should wake up earlier? Please write it down for yourself. And it would be really, really better if you could inventory your time of waking up and then going to bed for at least 7 consecutive days. 1 week. If you could do that, it would help you in a ton of ways because you could go through the reasons of why you're not able to just wake up early, and it could help you later. So if you can, please write down, first of all, the whys of why you need to just wake up early, and also inventory your time of going to bed and waking up in the mornings for at least some days. Maybe you have a smartwatch and you can go to the application related to that smartwatch, and now you can have, for example, the pattern of your sleep. So now you have the analysis that you need. But if you don't have that, or if you don't have any estimate of what is the pattern of your sleep, you can go through that for the week ahead, and then after just having this data, you can think better and you can plan for that. So in the phase of assessment, I wanted you to have the whys, the reasons of why you need to wake up earlier, and then just have an inventory of what is your current situation, about your sleep and waking up or any stuff. And then based on the analytics that you have out of the data that you're seeing in front of you, you can just see that whether or not you have had enough bed rest. Enough bed rest is really important because if you don't have any sufficient amount of sleep, then you should not expect yourself to wake up early. So waking up early means just sleeping or going to bed early. If you go to bed late, so it is completely crystal clear that you cannot wake up early. So out of the data that you can see, the pattern of your sleep, you can understand that, okay, well, maybe the reason why I'm not able to wake up earlier is the fact that, okay, I go to bed late at night, so maybe I need to manipulate that. So in the phase of assessment, you can be more reasonable with the situation that you're in, and you can maybe understand what are the reasons that you're not successful in waking up early. So this also is one of the foundational steps that you need to go through, because otherwise you may not be able to just implement any kind of plan to just wake up earlier. You might go through for example, suggestions of any person who wakes up early, and then you don't be like that person, because there are some of the prerequisites that you need to just have them in order to wake up early. And those are so personal and so specific based on the situation that you're living in. So based on your situation, please go and consider what are the reasons that you need to just wake up early. what are the things that make you feel that you need to wake up earlier, and then go through the current situation of your life and see whether or not you have had enough bed rest in order to expect yourself to wake up earlier. So, just have a quick recap. We went through the step 0, which was letting go of the misconceptions. Step 1, which was having a clear definition of waking up early in our season of life. Step 2, which was assessing our current situation in life. And then step 3 is to make a plan for waking up earlier. You know that I'm always focusing on having a plan, but maybe having a plan without just passing the 3 previous steps, step 0, 1, and 2 is worthless. So making a plan is meaningful whenever you let go of the misconception, you have a clear definition of waking up early, and you assess your life, the current situation of your life. So now that you have been through all of the previous steps, you need to make a plan to wake up early. So you're convinced that you need to make a plan, you need to, wake up earlier. So now maybe you are even more motivated to wake up earlier. So you're more committed to that, hopefully. In order to make a plan, I want you to write down something. Just please answer to this question. What sort of tasks would be better to take place in my mornings so that I can experience a smoother version of my mornings? So maybe the reason that you just are listening to this podcast episode is to find a way to wake up earlier because you are experiencing a lot of stress in the mornings. I don't know if you have ever been in any of the workshops of MamaNest. We have a time blocking method for managing our life totally. And in the first block, I always emphasize on the morning block, and morning block has a definition, and that block means the time that you can just spend with yourself without being in the hustle and bustle of just doing everything, everyday tasks. So it could be really better to just wake up some couple of minutes before your child or your children or your husband wake up, so that you can have some time for yourself. Even we have had a mom talk in our Instagram page, mom talk number 20, which was mom talk number 21, which was Sacred Morning. The title was Sacred Morning, and I just emphasized that early mornings with your definition, it could be any time of the day, but some minutes earlier than your child just wake up, could be a very, very sacred time for you as a mom, or for any person who is so busy, because at that time you can concentrate, you can prioritize your task, you can do whatever, and then just starting your day smoother can help you to have a better day in the continuance. So please write down what sort of tasks would be better to take place in your mornings. And based on those tasks that you can see on the piece of paper in front of you, you can estimate how much time you need in the mornings before other family members just wake up. So you can have an estimate for what time you need to wake up. So take, for example, based on the things that you have written on the piece of paper, you can have an estimate that, 30 minutes earlier than my child just wakes up every day could be a better time for me. So, for example, if your child just wake up around 6:30, so you need to just be awake at 6 a.m. in order to feel better, in order to have a smoother version of your day. So, based on this, then you can have, a more reasonable definition for waking up early for yourself. And in the second place, I want you to answer to this very question, that what is the time that you need to be ready for your day. So if you're a working woman or a working mom or a working person, so there are a lot of options that you might have for your work. If you are working online or if you're working in person. So what is the time that you need to just start your responsibility at that role? For example, you need to be in your workplace at 8 a.m. So you need to go out of the home like at 7 a.m. And then you have some of the tasks that you think if you go through them before the day starts, then you will experience a better version of your day. And those, for example, take 30 minutes. So it can give you an estimate that you need to wake up at 6:30. So this is the process. But the numbers are not really valid for every person. Based on your situation, everything differs. Take, for example, you are not a working mom, so you're at home. You have your roles and responsibilities of other, for example, places that you need to just be present. And then for every day of your life, you can have this kind of estimate. It is a kind of re-engineering that, okay, based on the time that you need to be present at somewhere or in some of the roles that you have, then you can re-engineer your time and then reach to the time that you need to just wake up. So this was the step of making a plan. So you were supposed to answer to these questions. First of all, what sort of tasks would be better to take place in your morning block? And then what is the time that you need to be ready for your day? So based on these questions, you can have a clearer estimate of when you need to just wake up. So you can go through the first step, which was having a clear definition of waking up early, and then you can just manipulate the time that you have estimated, and so that you can have a more exact version of this definition of waking up early. So first step was letting go of this misconception. Second step was having a clear definition of waking up early. The next one was assessing your current situation, and the next one was making a plan for waking up early. And so we are going through the last step, which is being committed to just the plan that you have assumed for yourself. So you're thinking about waking up around, for example, 6:30 based on the steps that you have passed. So and you have a clear vision of what is your current situation. So for example, based on the inventory that you have done, you know that you go to bed around 1 a.m. So you're expecting yourself to wake up at 6:30, and you can totally understand that maybe 5 hours of sleep is not, enough for you. And every day that you force yourself to wake up at 6:30, you can understand that, well, but maybe I'm not an early bird, but the problem is that you didn't have enough sleep. So the problem comes from another source, not from the fact that you're not an early bird. It comes from the fact that you didn't get enough sleep. So, based on the current situation that you see and the time that you need to wake up, please have a plan for yourself to just go to sleep earlier each day. Just take small steps. Please start small. So if you go to bed at 1 a.m. normally and you need to wake up at 6:30, please go to bed earlier tonight, just 30 minutes earlier. So 12:30 till 6:30 get you just 6 hours of sleep, which is not really bad. And then try to just have more sleep next day. For example, go to bed at 12 instead of 12:30. The next day, go to bed at, for example, 11:45. Then just, reach to the situation that you go to bed at a time that gives you 8 hours sleep, because in that case, you will wake up at that time very energetic with adequate amount of sleep that you needed. So please start small, have a plan for yourself for the week ahead in order to just reach to the situation in your life that you get enough sleep and you wake up at the time that you're supposed to wake up. And what I can really mention in this step of being committed, beside having to start small and just making small progresses, is that you need to make systematic changes too. So if I tell you that without any systematic changes and with just, starting small and taking small steps, you can reach to that, I might be a liar because you need to change your lifestyle in some way in order to make that happen. And what are the lifestyle changes that you need to just have? First of all, you need to just manipulate your nighttime routine. So what is your nighttime routine now? This might be a topic for another podcast episode, but just you can maybe go and just have an inventory for what are the actions that you do on a regular basis in your nighttime block. And based on them, you yourself can understand, okay, well, maybe I don't need to just watch Netflix all day, all night, because it really deteriorates my plan. And some of the times, for example, even if I want to go to bed early, the series that I'm watching doesn't let me. So you can go through your nighttime block routine and then you can see the changes that you need to make in order to make that happen. So you need systematic changes in order to just be an early bird, or in order to just wake up earlier. Maybe you need to change the bedtime routine of your children. Maybe you need to be more committed to their bedtime. So you yourself can understand a lot of them, but we can talk about it later. But just know that starting small is the first step, but you need systematic changes that we're going to cover in the future episodes. And part of being committed to do something, in my own view, is that you need to be part of a community of like-minded people. So can you find anyone around you that can be your companion, that can be your accountability partner, and then together you can practice this plan. You can practice being waking up earlier every morning. So if you can find any person around you, that would be great, because it can really increase your chance of succeeding in this plan of waking up earlier. But if you don't find this community, you can join MamaNest community, because we're going to have a challenge from tomorrow. The challenge of waking up earlier, and we need to go through all of the steps of changing our mindset, all of the steps that we have just mentioned in this podcast episode. So if you need that accountability, you can join MamaNest community, or can find or can talk with one of your friends about this, and you can be accountability partner of each other, because in this case you are gonna be more committed to your goal. So I hope that this topic could help you in some ways. Let me give you a recap, just quick recap of what we have been through. We went through step number 0, which was letting go of a misconception that just early birds are successful, and embracing what type of person you are. Then in the next step number 1, we went through having a clear definition of waking up early for your own self. In the second step, we went through assessing our current situation. And the third step was making a plan for waking up earlier. And then the final one was being committed to just implement the plan of waking up earlier. I hope that this could be beneficial for you in some ways. As I told you, we've had a mom talk. You can access to that. It was the title was Sacred Morning. Maybe it could be useful to you, you can access that via our YouTube channel or our Instagram page. It was Mom Talk number 20, Sacred Morning. And also we're going to have a challenge. So maybe you're going to want to be part of this challenge. It's going to start from the 13th of June until the 24th of June. So in 12 days, we're going to practice this together, and we're going to be the community that you need, the like-minded community that you need to be part of in order to just practice this and in order to be more committed to this goal of waking up earlier. I hope that we'll see you there. It's going to be placed in our Instagram page. So you just need to go to the Instagram and follow @MamaNest Official, and we're going to start from tomorrow. So hope you have a very great day and hope to see you soon in our Instagram page and keep in touch with you. Have a very good day and goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the MamaNest Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe. That way, you'll receive fresh episodes every week. Did you know that together we can change the forgotten culture of caring and sharing and prove that we care for each other and ourselves? You need to head over to iTunes, subscribe, and then leave a positive review so that many more women can benefit. The second way is to take a screenshot of this very episode, tag me @MamaNest Official, and go share it in your Instagram stories. I truly look forward to connecting with you. So stay tuned.